Hi, I'm Vince Molinari, and welcome to Fintech TV. We're broadcasting from the iconic New York Stock Exchange, and I'd like to welcome Joe Stensland, who is the CEO of BridgeFT. Joe, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Vince.
BridgeFT, tell me about it. Tell me, kind of the journey, how it started, and what you're up to.
Sure. Yeah, BridgeFT started as a infrastructure platform for RIAs, and along the way we built some critical infrastructure capability for ourselves. And at that time the board said, well, we should look broader, and could we help other fintechs? And at that time I came on board and we started commercializing the company in the enterprise space. We launched what we call WealthTech API, which is an infrastructure platform providing a way for firms to build the next generation of their digital experiences faster, cheaper, better, without all of the investment needed to do the base infrastructure.
Well, it really resonates with me, having a historic background around broker-dealers, RIAs, trading, settlement, and the cost to build that as an independent is so massive.
Right.
In fact, it's so counterproductive, at least from my lens, and I would love to hear what you think and what you're up to with the platform. You really, much better focusing on the things that you do well in your core business, and turning to some of the experts, not only for, I guess, scale and efficiency, but I suspect there's quite a bit of cost savings.
It is, and we like to think that we can do two things. For the larger firms that can afford it, we allow them to redeploy their capital on things that really make themselves different. No one made themselves different by inventing new infrastructure, a new performance calculation, getting custodial data into their platform. That's just table stakes, and you're not going to differentiate yourself here in the field. The second one is for smaller firms that may not have been able to go down this journey of building their own experiences. We've now lowered the bar for them, so they can become competitive in the same way and start building their own experiences in their platform. We really did it around two different premises. The first one is we felt that wealth management companies are going to start building more and more of their own experiences. They have to. They have to differentiate through technology. They can't use the same off-the-shelf software. Ed Jones and their competitors can't say that they are going to differentiate on financial planning and send out the same Money Guide Pro report to everybody. So they're going to choose to do this more on their own. And at the same time, fintechs, the world and the categories around fintech applications is changing drastically. The idea that there is a separate financial planning and managed account and onboarding application, when it's really a seamless journey for the customer and the advisor, those firms are going to have to retool themselves as well. So all of that means that there's an opportunity for an infrastructure provider like ourselves to help them do that better, faster, and cheaper.
And not intending to put you on the spot, but really, again, you have such a wealth of knowledge and experience here, Joe. When we talk about wealth tech, right, it's still in a large way the same game, right? You're competing for AUM, right? So how are you differentiating? And I suspect a lot of this goes to perhaps beginning to engage next generation who are much more comfortable with user interface and kind of reducing friction in that customer experience.
Yeah, I think overwhelmingly the information out there shows that people are more engaged in their financial. Having the cell phone in your pocket that answers every single question, it does the same thing for your finances and how you're doing on your journey with your advisor. And so the dependency's there, and it's not only an option anymore, it's a demand and a must-have. And so firms need to be at the forefront of that if they're going to be competitive, and that means a lot of spend typically in areas where maybe they outsourced. And they're going to have to look to how do we make it different for ourselves, which means at least the front end of that journey needs to be done by themselves or custom for what their firm is doing. And that's the whole thing around infrastructure. It's not a foreign issue in other markets. We like to say that we're going to do for wealth management what Stripe and Shopify have done for e-commerce, which is a very common platform around how to get all these multitude of different storefronts out to the market. But everybody's got a cart, everybody's got an inventory system, everybody's got all the same back-end needs. Those things aren't different from Walmart to Amazon, but they're needed. And so why spend the money on it when you can buy it and focus your efforts on the things that really make yourself different?
Makes total sense. One last question before we close out, Joe, if I may. Data is so important and increasingly important, and sometimes we have too much data, sometimes it's stale, sometimes it's lagging. Does the platform enable more real-time assessment and information coming off?
It does. The way the market works and has worked in the past is still T+1 for the majority of the data. And that's fine for most of those use cases. My former company, Cyvantage, which we sold to Refinitiv, we had built a platform that was real-time against all the back offices. And so that will be coming soon to what BridgeFT is doing. So we'll be able to serve the use case that's around data analytics, which yesterday's data is totally fine for. Intraday needs on how am I doing right now is going to be served by a new platform capabilities that we're going to be adding in the near future.
Great. Joe, thank you so much for joining. Congratulations on all the work, and we'd love to hear some updates as things go forward.
Excellent. Appreciate you having me.
Our pleasure.
Thanks a lot.